Favorites. Your light is a beacon in this world, but it can also become a target. In the complex dance of human relationships, not everyone moves with pure intentions. Today, we'll take a look at 8 often overlooked signs that someone might be using you, draining your energy, and potentially derailing your spiritual mission. The purpose of this video: help develop awareness and the ability to protect yourself. As you view it, you will learn to better recognize other people's ulterior motives, which will allow you to make informed decisions about who you allow into your inner circle. This knowledge is essential in both personal relationships, as well as in the professional environment or spiritual communities. If you've ever felt inexplicably drained, doubted your own intuition, or had trouble keeping your boundaries straight, this video will be your roadmap to getting your energy back and preserving your gifts. It is important to understand that these signs will help protect your energy and allow you to focus on your spiritual mission. The first sign is that they only come to you when they need something. The first and perhaps most common sign that someone might be using you. This is an appeal to you only when they need something. This is a behavior of how the world works, but it can be particularly draining for those with spiritual gifts and heightened empathy. Imagine that your phone displays a message from someone you haven't heard from in weeks or months, and suddenly they're warm and friendly. But as you read on, you realize that there is a request, favor, or need behind it. You have experienced this situation before, and your compassionate nature often makes you respond, help, and give. For a select few, this cycle can be particularly tedious. Your innate desire to help others, combined with your unique abilities, makes you a beacon for those in need. But when relationships turn into one-way traffic, when you are only taken from you without giving in return, it drains not only your time or resources, but also your life energy, the very essence that feeds your spiritual path. Why this happens so often? This is because your light, your energy, and your gifts are so powerful that others instinctively turn to you in times of crisis. They feel your strength, wisdom, and connection to something bigger, although being a source of support has its own charm. There is also the danger of becoming nothing more than a spiritual ATM for others. The main thing here is to recognize the pattern. Are there any people in your life who only show up when they're in trouble? Are their messages always accompanied by a request? Ask yourself if they would even get in touch if they didn't need anything from you. Recognizing this sign does not mean judging others or closing your heart. It's about insight, an essential skill for any chosen person. It's about understanding that true connections and authentic relationships involve reciprocity. They involve care and interest that goes beyond simple usage. By identifying these one-sided relationships, you not only protect yourself, but also create a space for authentic connections that nourish and sustain your spirit. You save your energy for those who see you for who you are, not just for what you can give. Remember, your goal is great, and your energy is precious. While helping others is undoubtedly part of your journey, it should not come at the expense of your own well-being. Setting boundaries with those who reach out to you only in times of need is not selfishness, it is an act of self-preservation and, ultimately, self-love. Moving forward, keep this sign in mind. Think about your relationships, whether they are balanced, whether they charge you with energy to the same extent that you charge others. Realizing this is your first step to creating a circle of connections that truly supports your journey as a chosen one. The second sign is that they downplay your achievements. As we delve deeper into the signs that someone might be taking advantage of you, we encounter particularly insidious behaviors that limit your achievements. This feature is especially relevant for the elite, whose achievements often go beyond the ordinary and fall into the realm of the extraordinary. Imagine a scenario like this. You've just made a profound spiritual breakthrough, or perhaps used your gift to help someone who is largely agitated. You share this news with someone you consider close, but instead of joy, you are met with indifference or, even worse, outright disregard. This is great, they may say, quickly changing the topic of conversation, or they may downplay your achievements by commenting on them like this. Well, anyone could do it if they tried. For a select few, such neglect is deeply painful. Your achievements are not just personal victories. They are often milestones on your spiritual path, steps towards fulfilling your highest destiny. When someone consistently downplays these points, it's not just disappointing. This is an attempt to dim your light. Why this happens often the reason lies in the other person's uncertainty or inability to comprehend the depth of your experience. Some may feel threatened by your growth, fearing that you will outgrow them as you develop, while others may become so caught up in their own worldview that they will not be able to understand the significance of your spiritual or intuitive achievements. Recognizing this sign is crucial for your continued growth and self-esteem. When your achievements are constantly downplayed, this can lead to self-deprecation, causing you to question the validity of your experience or the importance of your gifts. This doubt can hinder your progress along the chosen path and slow down your spiritual growth. Remember, chosen ones, your path is unique. Your achievements, however intangible they may seem, are real and meaningful to others, and they deserve recognition and celebration, if not from others, then certainly from yourself. Don't let others dim your lights or beg for your progress. Every step you take forward is a contribution to your spiritual development and the fulfillment of your mission. Appreciate and celebrate your achievements as they reflect your inner strength and connection to your higher purpose. The third sign is depletion of energy without reciprocity. This sign goes beyond simple emotional or mental fatigue. It strikes at the very heart of your spiritual being. As the chosen one, you are most likely familiar with the concept of energy exchange. In a healthy relationship, there is a balance. Sometimes you give and sometimes you get, but with some people you may notice a constant one-way drain of your energy reserves. These energy vampires, as they are often called, leave you feeling drained after interacting with you. You may experience physical symptoms, such as fatigue or headache, or emotional ones, such as feeling depressed or anxious. The key here is the lack of reciprocity. While you are exhausted, they appear to be energized, feeding off your spiritual energy. This dynamic is especially dangerous for the chosen ones because of your natural propensity to help and heal. Your empathic nature and spiritual gifts make you more susceptible to such energy depletion. You may find yourself unconsciously protecting others from negative energies or taking on their emotional burden without realizing how it affects you. Recognizing this sign requires increased self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with people. Do you feel exhausted after interacting with certain people? These are clear signs of unhealthy energy exchange. It is important to understand that protecting your energy is not selfishness, but necessity. Your spiritual energy is fuel for your higher purpose, and constant depletion without reciprocation not only affects your well-being, but can also hinder your ability to fulfill your role as the chosen one. Learn to set energy boundaries. This is key. This may include limiting your time with energy vampires, practicing grounding and shielding techniques, or simply being more attentive to where and with whom you spend your energy. As you continue to study these signs, remember that mindfulness is your first line of defense. By recognizing these patterns of energy leakage, you will take an important step toward preserving your light and ensuring that your gifts are used in accordance with your higher purpose, and that they are depleted by those who do not appreciate their true value. The fourth attribute, they are trying to manipulate your gifts. As we delve deeper into the signs that someone might be taking advantage of you, we encounter particularly disturbing behavior, an attempt to manipulate your gifts. This attribute is especially relevant for the elite, whose unique abilities are often targeted by those who seek to use spiritual or intuitive abilities for selfish purposes. Imagine this scenario. Someone in your life, after learning about your intuitive abilities or healing gifts, suddenly takes an increased interest in you, but they are not interested in your growth or well-being, but in how your gifts can benefit them. They may force you to use your abilities on demand, perhaps to predict their future or solve their problems. Or they may try to use your spiritual insights for their own purposes, ignoring your boundaries or the sacred nature of your gifts. This manipulation can take many forms. This can be subtle manipulation, such as when you feel guilty if you can't or don't want to use your gifts to their advantage, or it can be more explicit, such as trying to capitalize on your abilities without your consent or pressuring you to share insights that should be kept secret for everyone. Favorites. Such manipulations are especially dangerous. Your gifts are not party tricks or tools for other people's convenience, but sacred abilities designed to be used in accordance with your higher purpose. When someone tries to manipulate these gifts, they are not just disrespecting you, but potentially interfering with your spiritual path. Recognizing this sign, you need to clearly feel your own boundaries and the true purpose of your gifts. Are there any people in your life who seem to value your abilities more than you as a person? Do you feel pressure to use your gifts in ways that make you uncomfortable? These are alarm signals that someone is trying to manipulate your spiritual or intuitive abilities for their own purposes. Remember, your chosen gifts are a part of you, not a service that you must provide on demand. Learning to protect your abilities from manipulation is essential for your spiritual growth and true expression of your purpose. Setting clear boundaries and being able to say no is an act of self-defense and self-respect. Your ability to discern when someone is trying to use your gifts to their advantage will help preserve your energy and spiritual integrity. This is an important step towards strengthening your inner strength and realizing the true value of your unique abilities. The fifth sign is that they are not consistent in their support. As we continue our research on how others can use their favorites to their advantage, we've come up with a feature that can be particularly offensive: no consistency in support. This behavior creates an emotional roller coaster that leaves you feeling confused, undervalued, and unsure of your own worth. Imagine the following. There are people in your life who fluctuate between being your best fans and the harshest critics. When things are going well or when they need something from you, they only praise and encourage you. But when you encounter difficulties or when your support requires effort on their part, they suddenly become detached, critical, or even dismissive. This inconsistency is particularly strong for the chosen few. Your journey often involves periods of intense growth, spiritual challenges, and moments when you need a reliable support system. The unpredictable nature of friends for all time can be deeply destabilizing, potentially hindering your progress on the spiritual path. Why this is happening? Often this happens because these people are more interested in what you have to offer them than in genuinely supporting your path. When your light shines brightly and benefits them, they are ready to bask in it. But when you go through dark periods or when your support isn't in their best interests, they pull away. To recognize this sign, you need to pay attention to patterns in time. Are there people in your life whose support fluctuates depending on their needs or your current situation? Do you feel that you can't count on the constant support of certain people, especially in difficult times? For a select few, this inconsistency can be particularly harmful because of your heightened sensitivity and the intense nature of your spiritual journey. You need a stable and reliable support system, not one that sways under the influence of a tailwind. Understanding this sign is crucial to creating a circle of true support. You need to understand the difference between those who truly value you and your journey and those who are close by just for the benefit that your light can give them. Remember, chosen ones, you deserve relationships that are constant in their support, that value you for who you are, not just for what you have to offer. As you continue to grow and evolve along the way, surrounding yourself with constant, sincere support becomes not just useful, but necessary to fulfill your higher purpose. By recognizing these signs of manipulation of your gifts and inconsistency in support, you take important steps in protecting your energy, honoring your gifts, and creating an environment that truly promotes your growth as a chosen one. Be alert, trust your intuition, and never underestimate the importance of sincere, consistent support on your spiritual journey. The sixth sign is that they are appropriating your ideas or work. As we continue to deal with the signs that someone may be using you, we have encountered particularly unpleasant behavior, appropriating your ideas or works for a select few, whose insights and creations often stem from deep spiritual connections and intuitive wisdom. This can be particularly depressing. Imagine such a scenario. You have experienced a deep spiritual insight or created something truly unique, born of your connection with the higher realms. You share it with someone you trust, only to find out later that they presented it as their own idea. They may have taken advantage of your intuitive guidance to solve a problem at work and taken full credit for it. Or they may have reworked your spiritual ideas without recognition, passing them off as their own wisdom. Such intellectual and spiritual theft is not just annoying. It is a violation of your sacred connection with your gifts to the elect. Your ideas and work are often closely linked to your spiritual purpose. When someone takes credit for them, they're not just stealing your words or concepts. He is trying to appropriate a part of your spiritual path, which is why this often happens. This is based on a combination of self-doubt and opportunism. Some people, recognizing the power and uniqueness of your insights, may feel obligated to appropriate them in order to raise their status or feel more spiritually advanced. Others may simply see an opportunity to take advantage of your wisdom without making a spiritual effort. Recognizing this sign requires a keen awareness of your contribution and a willingness to stand up for your truth firmly. Have you ever noticed that someone is constantly passing off your ideas as their own? Maybe your unique spiritual ideas are being repeated by other people without proper attention. These are clear signs that someone can use your spiritual and intellectual property for the benefit of a select few. Protecting your ideas and work is not about ego, but about respecting the sacred source of your insights and preserving the integrity of your spiritual path. It is very important to learn how to defend ownership of your contribution. Firmly use compassion to let your light shine in its true form. Remember that your ideas and creativity are part of your spiritual mission. No one has the right to appropriate the fruits of your labor. Set clear boundaries and do not be afraid to talk about what is yours. In this way, you maintain not only your energy and spiritual integrity, but also respect for yourself and your gifts. The seventh sign is that they are trying to dim your light. Moving on to the next feature, we are faced with perhaps the most fundamental way in which someone might try to use you by trying to dim your light. This sign includes a whole host of behaviors designed to stifle your growth, undermine your confidence, and prevent you from fully fulfilling your role as the chosen one. Imagine the following. As you progress along the spiritual path, gaining confidence and strength, you notice that some people in your life feel uncomfortable with your evolution. They may disparage your spiritual practices, roll their eyes at your insights, or actively discourage you from following your vocation. In more subtle cases, they can create dramas or distractions that take you out of your way, or constantly expose you to lower vibrational energies that cloud your clarity. For a select few, this attempt to dim your lights is particularly dangerous. Your light, your spiritual essence, your unique gifts, and your connection to the higher worlds are not just a part of you. This is the essence of your being and purpose. Any attempt to mute it is an attack on your very existence as a spiritual being. Recognizing this sign requires deep trust in your own path and goal. Are there people in your life who seem to resist your growth? Do you feel that when you are surrounded by certain people, you have to downplay your spirituality or gifts? Some relationships seem to constantly draw you to lower vibrations. These are all signs that someone is trying to dim your lights. For the chosen, protecting their light is not just self-preservation, it is a sacred duty. Your light is meant to shine, inspire, heal, and guide, and learn to recognize. These attempts, mute it and resist them, are the most important task to fulfill your higher destiny. Don't let anyone block your light or make you doubt your own worth. Strengthen your boundaries, keep your mind clear, and stay true to your spiritual path. Your light is a gift, which must be protected and supported so that it can continue to light the way for you, and for those who need your inspiration and guidance. The eighth sign is that they make you feel guilty. Many people who use others often manipulate their feelings of guilt to get what they want. This may be an implicit accusation or a reminder of your responsibilities to them. Guilt manipulation is a powerful control tool that causes you to question your decisions and actions. Signs of guilt manipulation include frequent phrases like "you owe me" or "if it wasn't for me, you would." These words evoke the feeling that you are constantly in debt to this person and must meet their demands. Such manipulations can be very subtle, but their goal is to make you feel obligated and guilty for not doing what is expected of you. The impact on your condition can be devastating. Feeling guilty drains your energy, makes you doubt your decisions, and undermines your self-confidence. This leads to emotional and spiritual exhaustion, making it difficult to focus on your mission and personal goals. Manipulating your feelings of guilt can make you feel like you constantly have to give something away without getting the support and understanding you need in return. How to resist manipulation, feelings of guilt. It is important to learn to recognize these manipulations and be aware of their impact on your condition. The first step is to realize that you have the right to make your own decisions and boundaries. You don't have to meet other people's expectations, especially if it goes against your own needs and values. If you feel that someone is trying to manipulate you, calmly and confidently set your boundaries. You don't need to make excuses or explain your actions. Suffice it to say no or "I can't do it." Maintain an internal dialogue that builds your self-esteem and confidence in your decisions. Remember that you are entitled to your feelings and needs, and no one should make you feel guilty for putting your best interests first. Favorites. Your path is full of light, wisdom, and deep understanding. Your gifts and abilities are unique and precious, and they require respect and protection. By recognizing the signs that someone might be using you, you are taking the first step towards preserving your energy and spiritual integrity. Remember that your energy, your gifts, and your light deserve an environment that values and supports you on your journey. Your mission is not just to help others, but also to take care of yourself. Setting clear boundaries, trusting your intuition, and recognizing your importance is not selfishness, but necessity. By protecting your gifts and your energy, you strengthen your connection to the divine and create the conditions for further growth and development. Be vigilant, trust your intuition, and remember that you deserve sincere and consistent support. Let your heart be open to authentic connections and your soul protected from those who try to use your light to their advantage. Conserve your energy, protect your gifts, and continue to inspire and heal this world with your unique wisdom and light.